morning everybody and welcome to the Pottery Corner, my studio down on the south coast of England near Chichester. We're doing a glaze kiln opening today again, so we've had another load go through the glaze kiln. It's down to 22 degrees centigrade, so I'm just going to turn the kiln supply off and we'll open up and have a little look and see what we've got. I have actually flicked the kiln catch, so let's lift the lid up. Okay, so in here is mostly students' work because the students are obviously now back and we're back to doing courses. So this kiln's nice and cold. Actually it was cold yesterday, so I know that I don't need to use my gloves. So first things out are the remainder of Louise's textured coasters. She's coming in today, so we will see her later. So these are Amaco's Glacier, and she's used my textured sprigs to texture a slab and then just cut out the coaster shape, and the glaze sits nicely in the texture. So that's those. That's the last of those things. This is one of my new platter moulds. So this is a Huntley & Noble mould that they make sets of, so you can have nesting sets. And this one is copper oxide wiped back, cobalt oxide on the wording, which says "you shall have a fishy on a little dishy," etc. And then the glaze on this is Amaco sea foam. So it has got some glass in it, so you've almost got some sort of cloudy texture on there, which is quite nice, and it's just like a very pale Earthenware. So that's a nice little platter. You could put bread on there or smoked salmon if you're feeling like it, or even my favourite, Karen, avocados. Right, so next is there's just some little I'm making some little price tags for my work, so with the logo on, so those are just little textured hearts. Now these are Karen's mugs that she's made in porcelain, and I'm afraid I can't tell you what the... Oh, very nice glaze combinations. I don't know what that is. Looks fairly smoky Merlot-ish to me, but I'll have to be led by Karen on those. Actually, really sweet. I just need to knock that little cookie off, and that is the reason why I use cookies, because if I hadn't have used that cookie, this mug would be stuck to my kiln shelf. But with a little knock with a hammer, it will come off. So that's the first of those. See, that one's just fallen off. That looks like deep fire brick to me, and snow. So she's got deep fire brick and snow with a band in the middle of the two. Again, nice little mug, reasonable handle. Actually, you can get 2 fingers in that handle, which is better, being a bit bigger. This is the same glaze combination as the other one, which I'm not completely sure, but I would say is snow on the top, Merlot in the middle, and oatmeal on the bottom, with it doubled over the Merlot to make this nice sort of heather colour. It's really very pretty. And again, nicer handle on that one. Get 2 fingers in there. That's very nice. And the last of the mugs is this one. Now that I do know, that's that looks like blue rutile to me. Interestingly, I think that the clay has got a fault in it here because it's got a bubble on it. Can you see that? I mean, it doesn't have any detrimental effect, but obviously I think that there was probably an air bubble in the actual clay when she threw it, and it's come out on the glaze firing, which is unusual. Usually they come out on the biscuit. And again, there's a cookie on there that I just need to take off. Now the next thing is our experiment, Karen. So this is earthenware clay that has been fired to stoneware. So we've just done one of Karen's little apple trinket bowls. Actually, it shrunk a lot, which you, I guess, would expect. But this is the lid, which I have fired separately because I was worried they were going to stick together. So she's put a locator on the base, which is always useful when you have a lid because they only ever fit one way round. And then the glaze on the top of there, she's put a little bit of Snapdragon on for the red. Actually, Karen, it's really sweet. So I think we can go ahead and glaze the other two. There's 2 more upstairs. Yeah, pretty good, but a lot of shrinkage, because obviously that's red earthenware and we fired it to stoneware. But it does just go to show you that you can fire earthenware to stoneware temperatures, so that's quite interesting. Right, props out. While I'm taking the props out, I'll just mention that the courses are going on. I'm just going to go and get rid of this shelf. As you can see, there's silicone sand on this shelf where I have the large platter, because large slabbed items have a nasty tendency of cracking if they don't have anything underneath them. So I have used the silicone sand on there, and I'll just get rid of the props on this half shelf. Now, what have we got in here? Lots, and that's a broken spot. Right, well, at least it didn't break any work. That's another one of my little price tags. That one's copper oxide. So I thought I would just make my own price tags rather than using boring ones. This is another Huntley & Noble mould, heart shape this time. I was just having a play, really. That's deep fire brick on the back there, and on the front it's got Amaco's ox blood, and where it's thicker in the texture it goes this nice sort of deep brown colour, which is really quite nice. So I was just really having a little play with that. Okay, get that one out. That's one of Karen's coasters. That'll need another coat, Karen, to match the others. Although I don't think we knew what the other glaze was. So, okay, next thing is your pear, Karen, which is not going to come out of there. Let's get the half shelf out and see where we go with that. I'm just going to take the props out, because I really do not want them damaging things, as they have a tendency to do, as just demonstrated by dropping one on the floor. Actually, there is another one of Karen's mugs in here. This is another of the deep fabric and snow combination. That one's really nice. Lovely shape, actually. Nice handle on that one. Very nice. So, yeah, that one's a goodie. Take that one out. Oh, and having said that's the last one, there's another one. Oh, that's nice too. This one's got a nice handle on it. Wiggly wiggly. Very nice. That looks like rainforest to me, but it could be wrong. But very nice. That one's nice, Karen. And also, when you hold your finger in the handle, you've got a rest for your second finger, so that works really well. And actually a lovely glaze combination on that one. Very nice. All right, let's see what we've got in here. Get these props out. They do a good job of sort of keeping everything where it needs to be in the kiln, but they are a bit of a pain. And they drop against things. Right, Joe, this is your small head. So this is craft crank. Poppy head with applied fins, and Jo has put some transparent glaze on the copper oxide at the top, and it's gone slightly green, and also there's some sort of dripping down the fins that she's put on here. Again, a nice poppy head, lovely. The copper oxiding is nice on it. It's quite dark, Jo, but it looks lovely. So again, very nice piece, well done. That's a goodie. As you can see, there's quite a lot of glaze work waiting to be done. Right, I'm going to pull out this big beast. Right, this is your big apple, the big apple, Karen. Lovely, look at that. Nice glaze on there. She's dripped quite a lot of glazes. Wasabi is one of them, pear is another, and this is craft crank clay, and she's even put where we have to make an air hole because it's a sphere, she's even put a little finial on there, which is a nice touch, and the leaf is lovely. She put glaze on the leaf, I think it was rainforest, and then wiped it back so it just stayed in the veining. That's really nice. And on here there's a little bit of glass, and that's just stayed in that dimple. So yes, very nice, Karen. That's come out really well. Right, so that's a goodie. And then there's Some more hearts. These are Joe's. Oh, those are fused together. Look at that. Will they come apart, she says. Yes, they will. These are just some little textured hearts that Joe made. And one more of my thingies. And then these are your little birds, Joe. With smoky merlot on their wings. Cute. Hang them up. Those are rather nice. Now, what is left in here is, and it's not moving, which is why I'm just being particularly cautious with it. In fact, I'm going to be so cautious with it that I'm actually not going to lift it out from there. Right, so courses are still going on. I was going to show you the wonky pots from the last video with a plant in. So this is the three-legged hand-built wonky pot with sprig texture on. Lovely. And that's one of my little succulents that I have upstairs in the studio. And when it's actually in the pot, it looks really cute. And also, it lifts the plant so that it's kind of draping over the pot. It lifts it up off of the work surface, so it's not kind of, you know, you can see the tendrils more, if you see what I mean. So yeah, so those are really nice. I'm going to put those up on the shop later. So the website address is www.thepotterycorner.co.uk. I'm on Instagram, the.pottery.corner, and Facebook page is The Pottery Corner. There's information about courses on the website if you'd like to come along and become one of my students. I'd be delighted to see you. At the moment, due to the social distancing, we are only having 2 students in the studio at a time, so that's working really well. Actually, I'm really enjoying only having 2 students, so it's interesting, isn't it, when things are forced upon you, that actually they work really well. Other than that, everything's all hunky-dory here. Hope it's all hunky-dory where you are. And here's the 6 seconds that, you know, one day I'll learn how to trim a video or you know, sort it out once it's actually recorded, but at the moment I haven't got that technology. I'm far too old. So I'll sign out and say, GoPro, stop video.